If you listen to the media in this country, you're going to get all screwed up. You're not going to get the facts. You're not going to get any history, even recent history. It is a propaganda operation, and we should all know this by now. There are a handful of real journalists in this country, a handful of news platforms in this country, and that's it. One of the things they want to do is ensure that Donald Trump, if he chooses to run for president again in the Republican primary and so forth, that you will oppose him. It's the same media that tried to turn the 2016 election into a fraudulent election. Talk about them talking about fraudulent elections. I want to remind you that all Donald Trump wanted to do is to improve his country. Unlike Barack Obama, he loved this country and he loved the citizens of this country. He didn't view them as racist. He didn't want to fundamentally transform America. He wanted to make America great again after Barack Obama and his ilk on the hard left. They tried to impeach him twice. These will go down in history as two of the most outrageous acts by a Democrat Congress. They used Russia collusion against him, which was clear to us, but is now clear to everybody, which was a criminal enterprise launched by Hillary Clinton, the FBI, the intel agencies, the Obama White House, in my view, Obama and Biden as well, certain law firms and other individuals to try and take out a duly elected president. There's no commission to investigate that, of course. We have Twitter and Facebook and the corporate media, a cabal of pro-Democrat, pro-American Marxist entities that oppose free speech and have shut down the president of the United States, if not worse. You had disloyal saboteurs around this president. He came to Washington. He had never served in Washington or in government before. And so he needed to select people who had some experience at the bureaucratic level. Many of them turned on him. They leaked to the press. They stabbed him in the back. Some of them are trying to enrich themselves with books and so forth. This is a complete lack of character. It is so disgusting to me. Somebody who worked 8 years in the Reagan administration would never have thought of doing anything like this. A phony whistleblower. They go after his tax returns. The emoluments clause, another phony charge. 2.5, 3 years of a criminal special prosecutor. What an outrage unleashed against a president of the United States. They called him everything: Hitler, Stalin, Mussolini, a racist, an anti-Semite, a dictator, a man who loved his country. Absolutely outrageous. And now we have the Nancy Pelosi January 6th Stalinist Politburo trying to ensure that Donald Trump will never run again. But we have to reject this narrative. And starting this evening, right here, I'm putting the marker down. Enough is enough, here and now. The comparison is what Trump has done versus what Biden is doing. And reject the rest of the corrupt media analysis because it's all propaganda. Let's look at COVID-19, Operation Warp Speed, 3 vaccines in less than a year, therapeutics in less than a year, stop travel with China, build hospitals, ventilators, masks, etc. Under constant attack from media Democrats, congressional Democrats, every step of the way. This was the equivalent of the modern Manhattan Project for domestic war against the pandemic. We have never seen anything like this before in American history. That's what it was. That's what it is, despite what they say. What do we have from Biden? Nothing. No new vaccines, no new therapeutics. More people have died in 2021 under Biden than died in 2020 under Trump. According to Biden, that means he shouldn't be president of the United States. Where's the little charts on the television screens? They don't exist anymore. And he has 3 vaccines and therapeutics that were developed under Trump. What do we get from Biden? People are fired. People are attacked. People are wearing the scarlet letter because they're unvaccinated. They don't even take into account natural immunity, which is a scientific fact, which is even stronger than the vaccine. They have mandates, they have threats, they have firings, they have punishment. That's what we get from the autocratic Biden administration. What else? Let's look at the border. Southern border more secure than it's been in generations. 500 miles of wall built under Trump, despite lawsuits from Democrats trying to stop him and slow him down with support from the media and rhinos who are weak on the border. Number of illegal alien entrants were slashed to record lows. He had diplomatic breakthroughs with Mexico. Nobody thought he could do it. So he had remained in Mexico. You want to come into the United States? You're a refugee? You stay in Mexico till we figure this out. Huge drop in the flow of deadly drugs. Now we have a spike like we've never seen before. Drop in sex trafficking. Now we have a spike. Criminal immigrants coming into this country, MS-13 and so forth. Hundreds of thousands of unknown illegal immigrants. That is outrageous under Joe Biden. And what has he done? A complete open border. That's what he's done. They talk about COVID. We have COVID-infected aliens, people with other diseases coming from the poorest parts of the world into this country, and they don't seem to care. They're secretly released into parts of the country, particularly in Florida, because they hate DeSantis, without telling anybody. I have to move fast. Time's limited. Look at the economy. Under Trump, record low inflation, record low gas prices, energy independence. We were exporting oil, fracking, Anwar, federal leases, pipelines, all moving the American economic engine. Record employment before COVID, blacks, Hispanics, Asians, women, everyone. Even with COVID, the economy was recovering strongly. I would call this Trump's morning in America. People were hopeful again. Businesses were opening again. Manufacturing was opening again. What do we have under Biden? Massive inflation, massive spending. What else? Push for more massive taxation, massive regulation. Energy independence is dead. Now we're begging our enemies, Russia. We're begging OPEC for oil. They say no. What else? Skyrocketing gas and home oil prices. Supply chain disaster. We've never had that before. Shortages of basics in food markets, for toys for Christmas. Huge price increases when they're available. What else? He wants to massively expand the federal government under this Buy Back Better or whatever the hell they call it. The welfare state they want to expand. New entitlements, redistribution of wealth, subsidies for non-work. That's not America. That's not what we believe in. Foreign policy, oh my God. Under Trump, Iran was in a box. Iran's economy was imploding. They're our enemy. He eliminated the Iran deal, which was a giveaway. China was boxed in with tariffs. Trump built up our military, our Navy. They were boxed in. Russia, the pipeline was cut off. NATO was strengthened. NATO was strengthened. He was sending offensive weapons to Ukraine. The Middle East, peace breaking out everywhere, unimaginable. Israel, we had the Gulf Arab states, the Abraham Accords, multiple peace deals, never imagined before. Trust but verify. Again, this was, I think, one of Trump's beliefs. Use of economic superiority, use of military superiority. He created the Space Force to confront China, which has satellite-killing satellites in the sky. He said, enough of that. He rebuilt the U.S. Army, and he was getting us out of Afghanistan with integrity, with honor. He would never have left hundreds of American citizens over there, or allies over there, or equipment over there, or given them that Bahrain base. Never, ever, ever. And what do we have with Biden? The Afghanistan disaster, still hundreds of citizens over there that nobody seems to want to talk about. Worst ever military defeat, at least in modern times. That provokes our enemies, and it has. Iran is moving at warp speed, so to speak, to build nuclear weapons. General McKenzie, Biden's general, has said they're going to have them within a month or so. What then, ladies and gentlemen? And their economy is moving up again because they're selling 500 million barrels of oil to China. Iran, China, and now Russia, an alliance that did not exist. China is threatening to destroy Taiwan the way it destroyed Hong Kong, with multiple, endless military interventions into Taiwanian airspace. Russia has 100,000 troops on the Ukrainian border today. And I already spoke about Iran. Israel's being undermined. Its defenses are being undermined because the Biden administration has told them you are not to attack Iran. Well, how are they going to defend themselves?
Want to see more Mark Levin? Go to LevinTV.com and subscribe now.